So now in this scenario, we're going to pretend like the patient has now completed their osseointegration period. Everything looks great. Implants are osseointegrated, and they are now ready to proceed to their definitive restoration. So we're going to remove the provisional restoration and do more of a digital workflow to get to the definitive restoration. So we're going to, again, remove the prosthesis by breaking the tension on that screw on all of them. And now we'll unscrew the prosthesis completely. We remove that prosthesis there. Excellent. And now we're going to put on our digital scan bodies. We call these horizontal scan gauges. There just has to be some overlapping here, mostly geared towards the center of the mouth. So I'm just going to loosely connect that. Get these all oriented. Now, if we wanted to, we could cut these down. We just need them to all be visible so that our intraoral scanner can track from one scan gauge to the next. Before I remove this from the patient's mouth, I'm going to tie all of those scan bodies together with just a little bit of acrylic or composite to lock it together and give myself a physical verification or verified cast of the orientation of the implants together. All right, so we would go ahead and do our digital scanning, and voila, we remove the scan gauges after we've tied them together with acrylic or composite. Now on the prosthetic side, we have these prosthesis scan bodies that we screw into the prosthesis. And we're just using the same Omnibut prosthetic screws to secure these prosthetic scan bodies to the prosthesis. So now with these prosthesis scan bodies in place, you just do a 360 scan of the prosthesis, and these prosthesis scan bodies will be useful in the digital process of reorienting the prosthesis to the abutments that have been digitized. We also have gingival scan bodies. The gingival scan bodies get placed onto the abutment before doing your gingival scan. So the gingival scan bodies go in the patient's mouth on those abutments using the prosthetic screws as well. And these are meant to be very, very low profile so that scanning is much, much easier. So now with these in place, we would just do our intraoral scan of those components and the gingiva, and then remove those gingival scan bodies from the mouth. These gingival scan bodies can also be used as healing abutments, or we have a larger profile healing abutment at the time of surgery while the prosthesis is being made, so that you don't have tissue collapsing in over the abutment. We have a thicker multi-unit abutment, a healing abutment, to keep that tissue off, making it easier then to insert the prosthesis once it's ready. Now, we are agnostic as to how you go about making your provisional restoration. If you're a digital workflow person, great. You can carry on with the digital workflow using either photogrammetry or any other number of digital workflows. But regardless, while the prosthesis is being fabricated, you have a healing abutment in place, keeping tissue off of that abutment. Now, I say we're agnostic. We tend to think that the smart denture conversions protocol is the best way to make a provisional restoration at the time of surgery, but we also acknowledge our bias there. Lastly, now that we have this gingival scan body off, we'll put the prosthesis back in place. finger tighten all of them first. Then we'll come back and torque them to 15 Newton centimeters. There we are at 15 Newton centimeters. Do more of a star pattern here. There we are to 15 Newton centimeters. (15 Newton centimeters), and lastly, 15 Newton centimeters. And now we proceed to plug the screw channels with your preferred method, whether it's with Teflon and composite, Teflon and a temporary filling material like Teleo, Firmit, or Tempit, or just using PBS. Dismiss the patient, and the next appointment will be delivery of the definitive restoration.